like, I believe, like, the squeaky wheel gets the oil. I believe, like, no one's gonna give anything to you unless you ask. It's kind of like sex, too, you know? It's
Totally.
like, how do you really get what you want unless you ask? And you kind of have to. And you know, like, this is an interesting like world in business. And I think too, when we're talking about like beauty and sex, like if you're not aggressive and you're not going for it, and you're especially entertainment, then, you know, there's a lot of other people in line. You know, you almost have to show, like, why do you want something? Why do you deserve it? And a lot of the way I look at stuff is like, I just don't trust people to maybe do something the way that I would. Like, I care. So,
well, you've carved a life for yourself that you can control that.
Yeah, I mean,
You
I
know?
appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I believe in being a little bit aggressive towards what you want. And like, now it's such a beautiful time for women to like really be in control and be powerful. And like, yeah, you're an amateur content creator, but you're also a producer and a director and an editor and talent.
I know. God damn, it's exhausting.
Yeah. Episode 1 of season 1 officially.
Officially. And we've wanted to do this for too fucking long now at this point.
Yeah.
It's nice to have our own space to get right into it. You and I have been having conversations for what feels like, I think our 1-year anniversary is coming up.
Is it though? It actually, yeah.
Just a 1 year. Our 1 year. We met at AVN.
We did, officially.
Yeah. I remember I was completely floored by you.
Stop it.
I was. It wasn't just obviously the outstanding visuals, but I sat with you in your hotel room at the Hard Rock.
Yeah.
Because I think you were getting ready to host the show. I lived in New York for a few years, and I really experienced who I was and got to meet who I was as an individual outside of the confines of how my community in Toronto and my family knows me. And so I remember putting miles and miles and miles on my mattress in New York City, and that to me was the ultimate opportunity to know myself and experience sexuality and explore my identity through it, and the kinds of interactions that I want to have, the ones that make the biggest impact, what really stimulates me and pushes me to want to pursue this or that. And sex played a huge part in that.
Wow.
So having sex gave me the ultimate sense of myself. And so, like, I can't agree more when I see or learn of people wanting to pursue their own sexual education. I do think experience should be involved in that.
Oh, absolutely.
And that means having sexual experiences.
Experimentation is everything.
That's just it. I mean, I remember sex ed in school, which was really just a series of very high quality textbook images of diseases.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, dicks falling off, or just saying pregnancy or death will happen.
Right.
That's it.
Nothing.
Are you willing to share with the class the kind of things you experimented with?
Absolutely. A lot of one-night stands.
Okay.
That was a big discovery for me.
Yeah.
And yes, it does skew your opinion as a young person as to what you're worth sexually, because you are very easily disposed of. I mean, in a city like New York City, it's rampant. One-night stands are rampant.
Oh,
but
yeah.
You're very easily disposed of, but at the same time, sometimes you're the one that's like done with it after that encounter.
Sometimes it's your power play.
That's right. And so that was a fun arena to really, you know, warm my feet in and get used to. But then not even just the sexual interactions themselves, the intimate in-bed fucking, but sometimes the actual trying to communicate or negotiate if you were going to have sex with somebody.
Yeah.
You know, I had not experienced that before. And as Bob Dylan says, I had no direction home, you know? And so, like, not really knowing, you know, if you were ever going to make it back home to where people could judge you was a very freeing experience. And so to me, talking and negotiating who gets what from you excites me to the core. I mean, nowadays, me watching porn, I scroll right through.
Well, they say that's like actually the natural thing that most people do.
Yeah.
Like, they watch the beginning and then they go to like the hot spots in the scene. Like, they'll go to blowjob, they go to this position, and it's like they had this little study on like Pornhub or something where they showed like the elevation of up and down. So nobody really watches a full scene straight through anymore.
Well, sometimes I get so worried that I'm gonna like come before, you know, before they do, and I want to do it together. I want all of us to do it together.
Really? You like to actually come when they come on screen?
Sometimes, a lot of the time.
Like,
I'm like, oh God, but I was raised to never be late to events. So for me, one of my favorite things to do is take a clip almost right to the end, like maybe the last minute, and I know the countdown is on, and I'm
And
like,
you're
you
racing them?
better, yeah, and I'm like racing, you better wait for it. Like, that's one of my favorite things to do.
I love that.
Yeah, is time it, because I don't want to be late, but I
Yes.
also I don't want to come too early.
Yeah, you don't like there's still to be like 10 more minutes of film happening, and you
Yeah.
don't want to be like coming by yourself during the credits.
No, that's no. But I also don't want to not know how it finishes.
If you can control your body a little bit, you can have a very convincing orgasm. That's why men can't always tell. Like, no, I could tell if she came. I'm like, okay.
It's like, I can control that little squeeze.
A little bit.
You know, sometimes like I'm blown away by just sitting somewhere alone in a totally public setting and just doing that squeeze. If you do that squeeze a couple times, like I know people like, do it for your sexual health. I do it because I'm literally on the verge of getting off.
Yes, it
Even
feels
just doing
good.
that.
We doing it right now?
I'm doing it right now.
Let's both do a couple.
And
You know, for our vaginal health, our sexual.
it's for
health.
my sexual health. But sometimes like holding on to it, oh god. Anyways, this
Yes.
is what I do on airplanes on long flights, okay?